For a little rip and react time here. Panthers, Bruins, all the marbles, season on the line tonight, my friend. Here's a stat that's going to blow your mind. Ready for this? The Bruins are 0 for 25, over all time when trailing a series 3-1. That ain't good, is it, George?
I mean, it doesn't shock me. Any team besides the Florida Panthers, I would assume everyone has a O in that win column. This is also, once they got to the second round, and it had to be a Jeremy Swayman or Linus Ullmark carrying the team, which it was for Sway in the first round.
Yes.
Getting to the second round, this was a team that was weak down the middle, not a deep blue line, soft on the blue line, goaltending up and down, scoring can be anemic at points, but a defense that would play stingy. That was a team. You get to the second round, good for you. Against a Panthers team that is one of the best in the league, tough as hell, and protects their goalie. And when I say protects their goalie, Sergei Bobrovsky protects him by not allowing you to shoot the puck a ton, which we saw happen in Game 4 for
That's right.
18 shots on goal. So, that stat doesn't astonish me. For them to be down 3-1 in the series, I said going in before Game 1 and what Swayman did and how the Bruins won, I said Panthers in 5. So I thought it was, I was like, maybe Panthers in 6 after that Game 1 performance by the Bees in that win, but it's back to Panthers in 5 to me.
This is going to sound so cliche, but it truly is. The Bruins at this point obviously can only look at this series one game at a time. So I'm not as convinced that it's over in 5 tonight. It could go 6. And the reason I say that is because you must lock in on just one game at a time. If you win this game tonight, then you worry about Game 6 and if you could push it to beyond and come back from 3-1, which is what we're talking about here. And it's so cliche to just say, now you're in such a hole, you have to focus on that and take it one period at a time. Hell, for all that. But I will say this. I think all of us can acknowledge, even though we know the refs fleeced the Bruins, we can all acknowledge we've seen enough sample size-wise in this series to just see that the Panthers are a flat-out better hockey team, okay? In every phase, we have seen that. With that being said, the one thing the Bruins can control is effort. So I am definitely looking for them to come out tonight and just absolutely empty the tank in terms of effort. I mean, they're in a lot of these games, they're being beat physically. They're being beat to the puck, hustle. This is the kind of game tonight you have to win all those. The stuff that doesn't show up in the box score, right? Effort, be first to the puck, be physical. You must win that battle tonight to even give yourselves a chance. Because if we're all acknowledging from what we've seen, boy, this Panthers team just looks better. That's okay. But when you play a team like that, you have got to beat them on all that stuff, on the hustle points. You got to beat them in that. I believe the Bruins do that tonight and will stay alive. I think they'll extend this series. I'm not saying they're coming back from 31. That's a bold move, Cotton. But I am saying I think they can extend it. All the chips on the table for all the marbles tonight. I think they actually get one based off of pride and heart.
You think they shoot it more than 20 times tonight?
I mean, you're going to have to shoot more than you've been shooting. That's for damn sure.
And that's what the worry is. You've seen this as a team that doesn't score a ton, and that's fine because the defense and goaltending was good. But against a team that doesn't give you those opportunities, that puts a pressure on the puck. Honestly, all I'm looking for at this point tonight is Pat Maroon to find someone that has the stones to actually square up with him. Because he's gone out and challenged that entire team, and no one's taking him up on it.
Would you?
You'll hear that coming up. Hell no.
I wouldn't.
But I'm not the one playing a sport, and I'm not the one out there on the ice being a prick and picking on someone and punching down. If I was punching down, then maybe I'd have to face the music.
Yeah.
Shoot, man. If I'm on a hockey team, I know I'm a fourth liner. I got nothing else to prove than drop gloves and dance with Pat Maroon. Then I'd do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you would just hope to see a team that has been embellishing their goalie, their players.
Right.
Sam Bennett's, Matt Tkachuk's. And you've seen a team in a series that's been called one way, like the Hampus Lindholm penalty. I didn't Tkachuk when the puck is right there. The inconsistent in the goalie interference. I don't know. At this point, you just see a big guy, and everything Pat Maroon is brought in for was to be an enforcer, was to assert himself and protect the Stars. Because don't forget, what was it, game 3? Mm-hmm. No, game 2. Game 2, sorry. When the fights were constant and coming. Everything was happening after Pat Maroon was ejected. For nothing, too, by the way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you bring that guy in. It's all about fighting and toughness for him. I just want to see it come through.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we also could use the refs not jobbing the Bruins tonight. That would be great. I mean, I know, look, we're going to get to some other viewpoints of that later in the show. But, I mean, even the Boston Brass, the powers that be, Don Sweeney, all these guys, Jim Montgomery, obviously we heard. Everyone is to the point where it's like, okay, we lost a game. You can't blame the refs. Mm-hmm. But there also needs to be some accountability by the league, by these referees, and we're just not getting it. In fact, we have a soundbite of this look, like no one's blaming anyone, although we'll all acknowledge when this call happened that was clearly goalie interference, you reviewed it, you still didn't call it as we all saw it, fine. That moment doesn't lose you the game, but it damn sure changed the momentum of the game. Mm-hmm. And if the Bruins win said game, this call never happens or you get the call right. We're having a completely different conversation here. So, again, not blaming the refs, but there does need to be accountability. Take a listen.
We're not in a position to be criticizing, the officials and league-wide such. That's standard protocol. We'll get fined as a result of that. So there's no intention of my point to be critical. The overall premise that I have is, to be perfectly honest with you, we should not be asking the coach after a game what they feel about officiating and what happens. You guys should really be focused on, what we didn't do well enough in the course of the game and win a hockey game. Those questions should be directed at either director of supervisor officials, supervisor series, and or the officials. You want full access, and transparency, then put the officials in front of the microphone to answer the question, because they're the only ones. Hold on, they're the only ones that have the experience to be able to handle, whatever interpretation they applied to Rule 69 in that case to answer your question.
So there you go. I mean, Don Sweeney, the Bruins GM, saying there, I thought that was actually well said. And if you notice, a reporter tried to jump in and he said, hey, wait, hold on a second.
I didn't get that cut off. Yeah, he's like, I'm not done here.
I'm not done. He was holding court like you were last night.
He said, don't put out a statement, just stand in front, answer the question,
That's
talk
right.
about the officials. That's Don Sweeney saying there needs to be accountability from the league, like a 2-minute report that we get in the NBA, which to me doesn't do any better. Like, I just want better officiating. Get the calls right. And I said it last night. I loved how it was called on the ice. Goal, review, and then recall it back. It should have been overturned. I would take that over saying no goal interference right away, and you take away a goal that could have been scored. Then you look at the review and go, oops, bad call, not goal interference. I'd rather there be a goal taken off than a goal that was taken away and can't be put back on. Same thing with football.
Yeah.
I'd rather call the touchdown, review it, then get it right and bring it back.
Just get it right. That's it.
But do your job. I don't want to.
It's why you review.
Yeah, I put it all.
What's the point?
I put it all out there last night.
No, it's true though.
Do your job and the accountability at the highest level to get it right.
Amen. Hey, we asked to hear from you. You delivered 617-790-0928. How about our guy Josh in Mansfield? Hit us up on the hotline. Take a listen. He feels the same way as we do, George.
Hey, guys. Josh from Mansfield calling in here. Been a big Bruins fan for a couple decades now, and I don't know if I've ever been this mad about a situation with the refs and how it impacted a game. I felt like the game essentially ended after that goal was allowed. It felt deflating as a fan at that point to see the goal stand, the Panthers not even get called for goalie interference, which should have been called as Coyle fell into Swayman. And then the goal stands, and then we get put on a penalty kill because we lose the challenge. It just seems like something the NHL has to fix, particularly in the playoffs.
I love the passion in my guy Josh's voice.
That's
and he's
my boy.
right. He's right.
Taught me how to ice skate out in Madison, Wisconsin.
On.
Yeah, that's a homie right there.
Man.
But I knew that was a guy to text. I said, I want to hear from you, but I want you to put it on the hotline. But he's right. it's also, if you challenge and get it wrong,
Yes.
you lose a skater. Like, what is this? Take away timeout that could be key in the game. It's the NHL, again, cannot get out of their own way.
Right.
And for whatever reason, don't want their officials to be called out for being wrong on the ice when it's blatant missed. That was a great point by Josh there. Calling in, love it. Bring in the numbers.
Called it as he saw it.
But it's with the NHL, just the penalty for challenging if you get it wrong doesn't make sense.
No.
You guys got a call wrong. We're going to challenge it. And even though you got the review wrong, now we're paying the price by being put on the PK.
Well, listen, George, I hate to get you all fired up again, but not everyone agrees with us about this call, my friend. Panthers play-by-play announcer Steve Goldstein defended the call. Of course he did. And I know you have the quotes of what he said, but he basically said we're all crying and we're wrong. We're in the wrong. It was not goalie interference, and Swayman had no shot at making a save there. Oh, is that right?
Yeah, like Steve Goldstein on the What Chaos podcast. He said Charlie Coyle's already gliding towards his goaltender. His left skate's already in the crease in the blue. So he was going into him. Yeah, Charlie Coyle, 14-year NHL vet, is just going to keep going into Swayman, idiot. My opinion is Jeremy Swayman doesn't have any chance even close to come back and make this save. He was already pushing off with his left foot. It was on the far post of the goal.
Yeah.
He was about to reset his foot. His eyes are tracking the puck. He is following it. And then he has someone falling into him, all 220 pounds of Charlie Coyle. That's why he didn't have a chance to even come back and make a save. And again, you don't know that for sure because he had one of his own teammates falling into him, literally on his shoulders. And Charlie Coyle, after the game, said, I would have fallen on my face if Jeremy Swayman wasn't there for me to fall onto.
That's right.
Then last he goes, is there something egregious that should overturn what they ruled on the ice? I don't think there was. Look, I get it. Steve Goldstein is going to protect the Panthers. He's going to, protect his guys. That's fine.
Please.
But hey, no, you've seen this team enough. You know who Charlie Coyle is. You know how athletic Jeremy Swayman is. Just because you are a victim of watching Sergei Bobrovsky play goalie for the last 2 years, however long it's been, doesn't mean that's how everyone else plays goal. Bobrovsky's okay at best, serviceable at best. Jeremy Swayman's one of the most athletic goaltenders in the league, and that's his strength. To at least make a bid on a play there for a save to stop that rebound. I'm not saying he'd make it. I don't know. But the whole point that was wrong with this call is that he could have at least made an attempt, but he could not because Charlie Coyle was all over him. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because Sam Bennett cross-checked Charlie Coyle in the back to fall over Jeremy Swayman.
That's right.